So you've taken a Manx flag in space and some turf from Tynwald Hill. Is it important to you to be an ambassador for the Isle of Man?
Yeah, I think so. It feels good actually. I already felt like I had a connection here to begin with, and the fact that I've flown twice and I was able to take something that kind of represents the island on both flights. It was important to me, and I know it meant something to the people here too. And um, I think the more that we can share, what's going on in space with people here on the planet, the better. And those connections are important.
I understand you also listen to Davy Knowles.
I did,
Are you a
yeah.
big fan?
I am, yeah. He's really good. And the music sounded great up there. And on my first flight, I actually had the very special treat of him singing "Roll Away" for me from a tour he was on at Johnson Space Center. And that was awesome. And we used his music in our post-flight video because it just seemed to fit so perfectly with kind of in tribute to Discovery's last flight.
How many times have you been to the Isle of Man?
I have been, I think, at least 6 times over the last 14 years. But I haven't been, this is my first time back in about 4 or 5 years, so I'm really excited to be back.
Was yesterday your wettest Tynwald day?
I think probably my wettest Tynwald day, although, it wasn't bad. It really was just part of the adventure, really. The whole experience was really cool, being out there and, getting to sit up, around the hill was neat, and the chapel ceremony was, it was all just very special. And, the rain just actually added a little bit to it. Would have been nice to have some sun, but.
One report says the Isle of Man is the fifth most likely to return to the moon. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's certainly possible. They're looking at things, in a way that's a little bit different than other people are. And, what's cool to me about the Isle of Man is that, it really does come across, and I think it is a very progressive place. And, businesses are realizing, and in the space business especially, are realizing that this is a place where you can open up opportunities for yourself. And I certainly hope that fifth, sixth, fourth, whatever it might be. I think what the Isle of Man is doing to in a very open-minded way to give opportunities to companies is a great thing.
When you were growing up, did you want to be an astronaut?
I did not want to be an astronaut. I'm old enough that I remember sitting in front of the TV watching the first moon landing, and I remember thinking, "Wow, that's really cool." And how cool that we're doing that. But it just never, struck me as something that would be possible for me to do. And, fortunately I had a dad who was really into flying and built airplanes while we were growing up. And I think that's, kind of what sparked my interest in flying in general and what I studied in school and, ultimately the places that I worked, which NASA was, the main one on shuttle processing. And I think, at some point, people that I consider to be mentors encouraged me to apply. And if it hadn't been for them, I don't know if I ever would have picked up the pen. And so I'm very thankful for that. It was never something I wouldn't have wanted to do, but it was never something I really thought would have been possible.
What was it like on Discovery?
It was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great crew. There's a couple of them walking around over there. And it really was. It was great that, I felt really fortunate to have the chance to fly again. And my first flight was on Discovery as well, up to the space station. And I don't know, you develop a relationship with, the vehicle that you're flying on. And it was just really special to be there again. And, crossing over from the shuttle to the station again and just experiencing all that over was really special.
What's it like at the International Space Station?
It's a beautiful place. I think there's, we could do a lot better job sharing with people what's going on up there, the science and the way, life is on the space station. But I think one thing that is kind of deceiving is how big it is. I'll get the question a lot, like, how was it to live for, over 3 months in such a confined space, with 5 other crewmates? And I'm like, it's ginormous up there. I mean, it's huge, interior volume, bigger than a 747, bigger than what you would think of as like the standard kind of 5-bedroom house. And, 6 crew members, you can go your separate ways and get lost, not see each other for the rest of the day. And so it's just really a wonderful workspace. And, the view can't be beat, that's for sure. And just the whole floating around thing is something that, is really impressive to me, because your brain and your body just figure it out. Yeah.
What do you think is the best bit about being in space?
Everything. And I say that honestly, because I had high expectations of what it was going to be like, and honestly, every single one of those was exceeded in a very positive way. And so it's hard for me to pick out what the single best thing was. But I think certainly, the experience, sharing it with people you care about, with crewmates that you've trained with for a long time, is really special. But there's certainly nothing that beats the looking out the window and seeing Earth from that vantage point. The planet just glows. There's something about it that you just can't get out of a picture or even high def video yet. It's very different to what we see in pictures, and it doesn't fail to impress every time you look at it.
And do you plan to go into space again?
I certainly plan to go into space again. I think all of us would love to do that, and I think there's certainly opportunity for that. In the next few years, we'll be flying, solely on the Russian Soyuz spacecraft to and from the space station, which we've been doing in parallel with shuttles already. So that's nothing that's new to us. It's just that will be our only way to and from station for a while. And we're going to have the space station up there until at least 2020. So there's opportunity.